Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Miss Tarot, or welcome back, I should say. Today we have a general reading for you where we are going to take a look at specific messages that you need to hear from your spiritual team, from your higher self, from pretty much anybody who is not on this plane, okay? I haven't used the tea leaves in quite some time. We're going to use that in place of my other oracle cards. And these can be extremely specific. So it might be several situations, or it could be a part of a whole situation. You never know. We're going to get into it in a minute. But then we are also going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot for some more specifics to dive into it. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we have here with the tea leaves. Okay, so we have Peacock. Beware of great pride. So kind of a message of humility and being very, what do I want to say? Humility and being very, what's the opposite of boastful? No, oh, you know what? You know what I mean. I need my coffee. Scissors, disappointment in some affair. Dog, protection from a powerful friend. Wedge, someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Unicorn, use your intuition to make a beneficial change. Shh, no barking. I'm reading. Thank you. And then we have a ram, a stubborn and aggressive person. My goodness. Okay, some of you, this very well might all be related in some way in one like big situation I'm kind of seeing, but let's take a look. I don't know yet. Humble, that's what it was. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Beware of great pride. Being humble. Got it. Got it. Okay. And forgive my voice, I'm just a little raspy. Allergies season here in the Pacific Northwest. It's a whole experience if you've ever been up here. I normally don't get them, but it's been crazy this week. Okay, here we go. Sadie Sampson, can you please? All right, what do we need to hear about this peacock situation? Okay. How about scissors? Okay, and dog. Ah, okay, you wanted to pop out. How about wedge? And unicorn? And ram. Who is that aggressive person? Okay. Well, here we go. Peacock, beware of great pride, and we have the death card. We have the King of Wands with scissors. We have the Seven of Cups with dog. We have the Four of Wands with wedge. Interesting. The Ace of Wands with the unicorn. And the Ten of Cups with the ram. Okay. All very interesting. Okay. So there may be multiple messages here. Again, because this is so, the situation can be so random, please just take what resonates. If there are just a couple of these little tea leaves that resonate with you, just, take, as I famously say all the time, take what resonates and just kind of leave the rest. There may be multiple messages here for you in different circumstances, so let's take a look. So let's take a moment to take a look at the peacock, okay? So the peacock is, the main theme here says beware of great pride, but with the death card here, I'm kind of thinking that you are trying to change into a peacock. We're going to kind of go by not just only the messages, but actually how, we can possibly interpret these along with the other cards, okay? So beware of great pride, but at the same time, it looks like you are trying to change yourself into the better. And I think there's probably a part of you that you are going to need to leave behind in order to make that change. Now, that might be extraordinarily difficult for you, I think, with the fact that just change is hard in general, but especially when we're trying to become something else, something that we know is for our higher good, that can actually, mean outgrowing people or things, or different things that used to give us joy. Okay, but with this particular thing, I do think that the main overall advice that we're trying to get here is that change is going to make you actually feel a lot better about yourself. Whatever this significant change is going on in your life, it is going to bring you into a period of beauty and prosperity and abundance, but you are going to have to kind of remain grounded with that. Okay, so if you are working on yourself in a certain way, just kind of remember where you came from is the sense that I'm getting right now. Okay, and we'll get into a little bit more as I pull more cards, but we're gonna stick with the tea leaves and these for just a few minutes. So with scissors, disappointment in some affair, this is the King of Wands. And, the King of Wands can be extremely a dynamic, charismatic, very action-oriented and creative person. And I think this person, whoever this is that you are dealing with right now, this may have been like a potential significant other, or somebody that you might have been seeing or dating, or even just like a new acquaintance, because I get the feeling that this is not a person who you have known for a very significant amount of time. You're going to have to cut your losses with this one, and that's funny that that the scissors came out with that, because this person is not what they seem, and you are starting to realize that, and you are really probably pretty hesitant about cutting ties, because we want people to be who we want them to be. And if you are already seeing red flags, or if you are already seeing concerns early on in somebody you have just made a new acquaintanceship or relationship with, I'd run as fast as I can. Okay, and that leads me into the dog. Okay, I think that you have a very close friend that has been talking to you about this and saying, you know what, this person isn't really good for you. This person also isn't who they think they are, and maybe you've been just kind of like, you know what, you're a little protective. I don't really think, you're probably being over dramatic, but I think this person is trying to let you know that you have a ton of options out there, because you are a wonderful and amazing person, and you're going through this big growth cycle, that maybe you should just kind of wait and see what the future brings, just because there are going to be multiple options in front of you, and you're going to kind of have your pick of who and what and how you go about things, rather than just kind of being, I don't want to say stuck, but just kind of taking the first thing that comes along. You know what I mean? And there, with the wedge card, it very well might be that this particular person, the King of Wands, might not, these two people right here, the King of Wands and the dog, may be clashing quite a bit. And this could be a family dynamic as well, but I do feel this like tug of like push and pull in and out with this particular, with these two, with this dynamic is what I'm saying. One's like, no, listen to me, and the other one's like, no, this person isn't good for you. So I think there is quite a bit of, what do I do here? Who do I listen to? And with the Four of Wands here, the Four of Wands is about harmony and prosperity, and a little like it just being comfortable and happy and peaceful. And I think that that's what's being threatened right now, is your harmony and your peace. And you're really going to have to pay attention to, you know, who is speaking the most truth with us. And that's really funny that we come into the unicorn with this, because it says use your intuition to make a beneficial change, in the Ace of Wands here. So that's like that spark of action, of creativity, of that fire in you that just is like, aha, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, and this is where I'm going to go. And it might be telling both of them to take a long walk, or it could be, you know, finally you making a decision. But with the Ace of Wands, I think that there's going to be some sort of enlightenment that is going to come out of this, and it's going to have you rely on your intuition, right? Because, you know, you're going to have to go with your gut, and you're going to have to listen to your heart, which sometimes is really difficult, because it's like, how do you tell the difference? And also, how do you tell the difference if it's just that nagging little what if voice in your brain, or if it's really intuition? I know I struggle with that, and I tend to be a pretty darn intuitive person. So go figure. And then the Ram. Here we go. So the Ram is kind of the person that may be holding you back from that level of prosperity and that beneficial change. So, you know, it says a stubborn and aggressive person, and I really do think that they are kind of standing in your way. I just got this very specific image of, you know, somebody trying to cross like a field or something, and a ram just standing there looking like it's going to charge at you, and you hold still, and you're like, what are you going to do? That's kind of the image. There's like a roadblock there, right? And I think that some of this is really blocking you from hitting your full potential and your peace and your harmony. So really pay attention and see what this unicorn dynamic is, and do your best with your intuition. Maybe, you know, if you have your own tarot cards, maybe start pulling, you know, one card a day, and just kind of get that general advice, because our situations in life obviously can be very fluid. And, you know, having kind of like a daily guide or a daily, something to think about and hold in the back of your head would maybe beneficial. And if you don't know how to interpret tarot cards, feel free to look in the description below to my Instagram account. I do daily tarot card pulls with advice on a daily basis. So go ahead and, you know, feel free to follow me on that account if that's something that you're interested in. Okay. But let's pull a few more cards, because I really want to know how this all kind of ties in. And it's funny, it did turn out to be more of a big situation, because I thought, you know, these tea leaves were so random that I didn't see how they would probably interconnect, but now it kind of looks like one big situation that you are being advised on right now. And it seems to be like the overall energy is just kind of like reclaiming your peace and your own autonomy, because I think you know what's going on. But there might be too many people screaming at you from the sidelines that is really drowning out your own intuition. Can I have another card for Peacock, please? Okay, Strength. Oh, you have 2 major arcana just with Peacock. And, you know, whatever is coming ahead is going to really kind of do 2 things, okay? It may take a lot of courage and strength to kind of be able to say no or stand your ground, okay? And also, you know, change into the person that you are trying to become. So if there are roadblocks in the way of people who are trying to, I don't want to say that they're trying to keep you at, you know, this level when you're trying to be up here, but I would probably say that, you know, if there's some negativities that are about, and you are not able to move past that roadblock, this is kind of the card that you're going to have to embody. Okay, a lot of courage, a lot of strength. Also, what we're kind of looking at here is, you know, a little bit of encouragement from your spirit guides, because, you know, great change that, you know, is going to develop you into a version of your higher self is very much lion energy, right? This is powerful, strong, capable, but in a very low-key way, right? Not prideful, just very stoic energy is kind of what I'm saying. And there goes the dogs. They're just going to run around. Every time I want to record. Tell me about, okay, they already knew. The Hanged Man. This is interesting. So remember when I was saying about this person maybe not being or seeing, like you maybe not seeing who they may be showing themselves for what they are. Kind of, I think the advice here is to wait and see, or check it from a different perspective. So, you know, if you are somebody who is so close to the situation that you cannot see the red flags, maybe remove yourself from the situation, like, you know, virtually, you know what I mean? Remove yourself from the situation. Pretend you're somebody else looking into that dynamic or looking into that situation. See it from a different perspective. Or it may tell you just to hang on and kind of wait. There is something coming that is going to blow everything wide open. And right now you just need to kind of wait in the wings and see what happens. Because if you don't believe that this person's not going to show their true colors, oh yes, they are. Okay. And that might be a positive thing. I'm not trying to be negative Nelly here, but I do think that, especially with this one, there's something that has created some serious disappointment. And maybe it's just, you know, the beginning of things and it's not what you expected. Just wait a little while and see what comes, or see it from a different perspective, whichever applies to you. Okay. And tell me about this dog and all the opportunities and options you're going to have. Aha. Okay. The Queen of Wands. Yeah. You understanding that you are the queen. You are a Queen of Wands. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. You are a Queen of Wands dynamic right now. So the change that you're going through is really, and this person does see you as kind of this Queen of Wands. They see you as a really amazing person that's worthy and deserves so much, because you're charismatic, because you're smart, because you're very creative, because you're action oriented, and you were just this kind of like brazen, awesome person. But what's going on? Why are you like taking a back seat to all these type of issues and not standing in your power? Why? You know, I think this is kind of like an encouragement to reclaim that, because if you resonate with that kind of person and identify that as who you are, why are you taking a back seat is kind of what they're saying. Really recapture and claim that. Okay. Oh, tell me about the Wedge and the Harmony. Who's doing that? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so maybe it's a work dynamic, possibly. We got the Seven of Pentacles here, and the Pentacles obviously are about a, you know, our stabilities, which is home, work, family, everything that's kind of grounded in our reality. It could very literally mean work, or it could mean that somebody is working very hard to kind of stop you from this growth, or stop you from achieving this kind of relationship with either one of these. Like I said, with the whole push-pull dynamic, somebody's working very hard with this, and I think you are going to have to work equally hard to really differentiate who you need to listen to, or who is right, not who you need to listen to, but who speaks more sense, who has your best interest at heart. You're really going to have to open up your mind and use your intuition for that. Samson, don't you dare bark. It's just somebody walking outside. Okay, tell me about that unicorn dynamic, please, and the intuition. Thank you. Five of Cups. Now that is very, very interesting. How do I want to say this? It's just, I wasn't expecting that one. But you know what? This is kind of like another card of warning and advice, okay? Practical advice, not necessarily a warning. It kind of has to do with losing yourself a little bit and being lured into a situation or an argument you know that you need to avoid. I think that it's very much going to be emotionally draining for you. And maybe that's also where the Strength card comes in, because whatever is happening is really going to kind of sap your emotional strength. you know, sometimes there's going to be a little bit of regret because whichever one you're going to have to cut loose and let go is going to be difficult for you. But I will say it's very important not to make any hasty decisions. It really is going to have to, sometimes this indicates, you know, a relationship falling apart or letting an old friend go. And that's kind of what we were looking at over here, right? But, you know, kind of take a look at, I mean, we talked a lot about the intuition with this, and I think that with this card, it's more of a warning not to make any hasty decisions. And the Hanged Man is here for that reason as well. You really may have to just kind of wait and see and let that quiet voice kind of build up within you before you make any decisions that might impact one or the other. Because I do think this is a decision, once you make it, especially if you're listening to your intuition, you're not going to get this opportunity back. So it's important to get this kind of right, okay? Let's see here. Okay, so that person standing in the way of your happiness, what do we do about that person? What do we do? Okay, that's fine. We have the Five of Wands. Okay, so the Five of Wands. See, and I wasn't kind of expecting that one to come out too. I mean, the good news is that a lot of this is minor arcana, except for the whole, I think it's funny that the major arcana that came out is mainly for yourself, right? It wasn't anything to do with any of these other issues with the people, which is great. So, you know, this is kind of like the card of conflict sometimes, and you may feel yourself really distracted or scattered, especially since it feels like this person is kind of standing in the way. But it's more of a card of encouragement that, like, about finding ways to bring calm and focus to your mind. Because if you really stress about this particular issue or this person, the trouble is really only going to increase. I think living in your head about this, what they're saying is you can let this kind of sink you, or you can push through this conflict. And I get that the change and the strength card are here too, as kind of reminders that this is who you're trying to turn into. Are you really going to let this person hold you back from your highest potential? Right? And it's saying that you're going to go through, you know, this is not without conflict. This is not going to be easy, but you can do this. This is you right here. Okay. And I think they're trying to remind you of who you are and what you are trying to become, and not to let anything stand in your way. If I could summarize everything all up in one little package, that would be the main statement. But see, there you go. Tarot cards done. That's what we say. I am going to let's get like, excuse me. Let's get a few, you know, we're going to take whatever flies out. Okay. I'm going to take some angel messages for you. These are words of encouragement, typically from your higher self, your angel, spiritual guide team, anybody who's looking out for you on the other side there. Okay. Give us some advice, please. Remind them of how amazing they are. Oh my gosh, I am supported flew out. That's amazing. We knew that, didn't we? If you have anything else to say, I'd like 3 cards, but I will take that. They gave me 3 anyway. So, put those over there because I really want to make sure everything is in frame. Okay, so the first card that came out was I am supported. Your angels are encouraging you to continue on your present life path with diligence, determination, and even greater success will come in the future. I think that goes straight with this. okay? That is very much, hey, you know what? We got your back. You are on the right path. You're doing great. You are this Queen of Wands person, and you're going to push through this, whatever the hell this is, all right? We have 111, I am creative. Angels are ready to fully support you in this endeavor so that you can co-create with the universe that you love. I mean, I think this is all coming from your higher self, which is pretty amazing. And then we have 666, which I think is coming with the scissors. I might pull a few more because I really think you're getting good messages here. This is a wake-up call for you to re-examine your current situation and change the direction of your thoughts so that you can raise your vibration to a more positive frequency. I think that kind of goes with these two right here. Really paying attention to who has your best interests at heart, you know, really focusing on your thoughts, and maybe it's just letting all this crap go. I mean, we have the Hanged Man here. Maybe it's just completely departing from both of these situations and just letting let the chips fall where they may, type of thing. I feel like we need just a few more, please, and thank you. Anything else you have to say? I mean, I saw you, but you didn't really flip out, so we'll kind of keep that. Okay. Have we got anything else? That one flipped. These are kind of like, when they kind of don't fly out, I kind of take them as like potential messages that may or may not be with, it's kind of like stuff you need to hear, but it might not pertain to the situation. Just more like, hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. I am stable. You bring stability and rationality to any situation. You are the rock, and your hard work and perseverance make you into a dependable friend, partner, and colleague. Okay. And that's funny because we were kind of talking about a work thing with this too. That's interesting. Okay. So we have 222. You are balanced. Trust that the seeds of your thoughts are growing as you are nourishing them with words, feelings, and actions. I do think that that kind of goes with the intuitive part. And then, here we go. And wow, it just really kind of resonates with this end here too. So this is amazing. You have 777. The purpose flows from within you, and everything that is unfolding or being revealed to you is part of your purpose. A state of peace and calmness in your soul. I am in the flow. And yes, you're going to move past this and you are going to be in the flow. Or what I want to say is ignore all this crap and just be in the flow. And just, you know, when you're in the flow, none of this bothers you. It comes and goes like the wind. Okay? Well, that is all the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here and sitting through this. This was kind of a little bit of a long reading. I will be back in a week or so with another reading, and I think it will be kind of, moving into Gemini season, which is my sun sign, which is, yay, great. My solar return is coming. So we'll be coming into a Gemini reading, and then also we'll do our typical weekly bite-sized tarot readings every Saturday, Sunday-ish, okay? So thank you for being here. Please take a moment to definitely comment down below if any of this resonated with you. It really helps the channel. Subscribe or follow me. I am both on YouTube and Rumble now. And also, if you feel free to reach out to me, down in the description below is pretty much every way you can get in touch with me, even for personal readings. I do those live, usually over Zoom, but if you are in my area, I will do them in person with you. Okay, so take a look at the below, follow me on Instagram, and I will catch you at your next reading. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Bye.